Welcome everyone. Oof, that was weird. It's getting some notifications out. Getting these notifications out. All right. His notifications out. His dick out. Let's get it going. Mr. Venus. Wow, I ended all of these characters at pretty much the same level. That's actually fucking crazy. Mr. Venus. I'm 12. Alright, Iron Keep. It's him. It's that guy. Where he at? Where he at though? Oh, there he is. Easy Town, USA. We have no reason to go to Belfry Soul. Right stick, please behave. Was my right stick acting up? What was happening there? That felt like a glitch. Not today, you son of a bitch. so much health. But it doesn't mean anything if I can just throw him over the edge. Pooped on. Whoa. Yeah, try not to ever fall directly in there, because it will kill you. We out here beating all these lads to death. We'll light the bonfire, but there's no need to rest there. It can't hurt. And turn it off. Making sure my stream notification went out. Okay, yeah. I have a few automated ones, just making sure those ones get out when they're supposed to. My favorite boss, hole in the floor. Yo, pull up. can't hit you from there. Thank God, finally, somewhere where I can actually hit him. Whew! Hole in the floor, you almost got me there. I had to roll into it or I was gonna fall off. Calculated risk. For some reason, I just read Majula as marijuana, and I was very confused for a second. Whoops. Alright, what am I looking at? There's something in the back of my head that's bugging me. Crap. I can't remember. That's unfortunate. Alright, well, we're back to Iron Cape real quick. Grab an important item. And then we outie. We're gonna go to Cardinal Tower. We're gonna go get another bonfire while we're there too. Good stuff. Oof, I can't believe I missed like 3 times in a row. Feels bad, man. Oof. Bastard sword, that's a pretty popular weapon among some players. Not as good as the claymore in my opinion, but to each their own. My guy Dennis. See you, dude. That's one of the reasons the mace is among one of the best weapons to use if you're like really unconfident and not sure where to start for a playthrough. Because it just does insane poise knockback, so more often than not you can just... Ooh, there's a seed. So yeah, you can just start using the poise knockback and just like push people off of cliffs. We're playing for honor out here, boys. That's what we're doing now. Alright, let me see how many fragrant branches I have. 2. Let me go back to Things Betwixt and drop off the trade materials first. Don't need. Don't need. Cool. Don't need. Don't need. Alright. Pretty underwhelming, but I'll take what I can get. Now I have 2 fragrant branches. I just want to get the gutter out of the way. Let's do that first. I think I can afford Gilligan's longest ladder which would be nice.
Wait. You want to buy? Yeah, but you.
Okay, yeah, we can afford it.
I get. Hey. Hey. Oh, come on. You're up. Huh? Cheers.
Oh shit, I don't have the forgotten key. God damn it. I forgot. I need to get that key from the gutter before I can unlock the door. Okay. Now. Yeah, fun fact, so your weight actually determines how much fall damage you take as well. Heavier armor will deal more damage on impact. If I could play this game in offline mode right now, I would, because I really don't want to deal with that, because I'm just showing people how to play through single player. I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing if it happened, but if I could just set the game to offline mode, I would. Unfortunately, I don't think there's an option for that in this one. Annoyingly. Nope, no Rat Covenant. How unfortunate. It is probably one of the most interesting covenants in the game, though. I think it's really cool. What I like about it is that nobody really loses if you fail, like if you fail as an invader in the Rat Covenant. Because you're like intentionally summoned in by the host. The host is the person who is antagonizing instead of the invader, which I think is really unique. Let's see if we can clear this out a little faster. Oop. There he is. What the fuck? There's supposed to be a moment that you get to attack them before they disappear. What the fuck? Whatever. Not a huge deal. Oof. Alright, I gotta refocus on how the parrying in this one works. Okay, I'm getting this timing wrong. Okay, the fuck, that one should have worked. Easy enemy to practice on, though. The biggest transition between all the games is parrying technique. I'm playing too much Dark Souls 1, my skills have gone bad. There we go. Dark Souls 1 parrying is like easy mode. Huh. 41 versus 45. Okay. I can't believe they had the nerve to add like 3 different poison places. It's so stupid. Well, whatever. No sense complaining about it. God, those dark weapons. Oh wait, I gotta get the Estus Flask here, shard here. Gotta remember where to get that one. I remember, okay. Fuck, god damn, that hurts so much. Ah, yes, okay, here it is. What's in this? I think I went the wrong way, but let's see what's in here. Ring of Soul Protection. I absolutely went the wrong way. What the heck? All right. Let's see if I can actually go the right way this time to get the Estus shard. Okay, yeah, this is the correct direction right here. Ooh, best helmet in the game right here. Gotta kill this guy to get past him anyways. Well, you don't have to kill him. But we're gonna. Paid Iron Mask. Mostly better stats with only slightly weaker and at a little bit more weight. And the Aura set. The real Aura set, I think. Because there's the real and the fake Aura set. There we go. That's just shard. Real Aura, or the fake Aura set, okay. I mean, I guess it's impossible to tell which one's real and which one's fake, because all it says is that it's invisible to cowards. And then there is an invisible Aura set, and then a visible Aura set. I guess it's not really certain if your character is a coward or not. Anyway, now that we've done that, I'm gonna use Homeward Bone. Whoa. Chillax, guy. And need a couple of throwing knives because these are corrosive. Another fragrant branch, that'll be helpful for later. Getting my hands in order. Oop. Alright, there we go.
Still on the road,
think I may have missed a location for her. Not exactly important, though. Ooh! Oh! Mario 64 noises. I don't think this shield's gonna stand up to the giant's attacks, but we'll see. I could be pretty fucked here if I'm not careful. So, actually, one of the best things we can do right now is God damn it. The range on these fuckers, I swear. Fuck you. God damn it. They actually just straight up backed me into a corner there. That was some actual, like, grade A bullshit. Do that. Alright. Let me look at what I've got. Do I have another bright bug? I don't think so. Nah. Okay, I found a new strategy. That's not it. Between being it and ain't it, that ain't it. Don't roll, don't target, you just sprint. You sprint in and out. You don't target, but you can roll if you gotta. It's dodging and weaving, in and out. That's how you do it. Fuck. That is a big hitbox. Way bigger than it needs to be. There we go. If you're gonna get to the first DLC, that's a required fight, by the way. So it may take a bit of time, because I'll be honest, that's not even easy for me, and I've played this game very long time. Hi. Didn't see you there. Well, it was worth a shot. I tried greatsword parrying. What? I fucking missed. Haha. Good meme. I like that. That was fun. Alright. Not very blockable. It's too hard. What? That was totally out of range. I'm just fucking everything up right now, aren't I? Literally everything. I couldn't be doing any worse right now. Ugh, Jesus. So what we just got, the Dragon Claw, that is our first DLC key. Our key to the game's first expansion. Hello. Nothing's up. I mean, I'm just streaming right now. That's what's up. I'm gonna go get a drink of water real quick. I'll be back in like 10 seconds. Alright. I'm back. What's Snap? Oh yeah. It's nice, someone else is here finally. I've been very lonely. I have 2 slabs for my weapons. Yikes. Quality's a little grainy today. That's unfortunate. I was just looking at the stream. Quality's not looking too hot. I'm sorry. Wish there was something I could do about that. Oh, I forgot to upgrade all my shit. Oop. Gotta make a hop. Anything in there? Anything in there? I forget if there's anything of any value in these rooms. Oh well. That's probably just a... Yeah, it was just an error. Twitch is always like that, displaying incorrect viewer numbers. Yeah, Twitch is just like that. It always shows incorrect viewer numbers. Very underused character who deserved to be in this series a lot more. He's so cool. I don't exactly know why, but I just have a very deep appreciation for Vengarl's character. Well, in what way would I expect a decapitated human head to act? Oh, you mean like he's not very melancholic. He's actually somewhat pleased that he's just a head because it allowed him to develop a much richer internal life than as opposed to his external life of barbarism. I get what you mean. He leads a rich inner life as a decapitated head. understandable. Yeah, I mean, what I like about Vanguard is just that he's got such a... I guess the word is... well-adjusted demeanor. Because, you know, when you read the lore on him, he was barbaric and violent and angry, and now, like, he basically just gains, like, knowledge from the universe from being sedentary for so long. Like, he just absorbs universe juice. And it basically just completely lives an enriching, like, meditative inner life. It's such a fascinating concept for a character in general, and I feel like he's just so underused. Because, like, you can do that so well in just fantasy in general, of, like, a headless, a decapitated head. Yeah, he comes across as profound instead of comedic for how well-adjusted he is. And I feel like that's just a good concept for, like, a fantasy universe in general, is just, like, a decapitated head that just gets so well-adjusted to being sedentary that they basically just become a monk. Absorbing the profound knowledges of the universe through their, like, vicariously through their own existence. It's meditative. I mean, you know, it's like, what do you do when you're a decapitated head that can't die? There's only so much screaming that you can do. There's only so much resentment and sadness that you can feel before you have to find something better to do. And I mean, the only thing you really can do is just watch and meditate. And I guess it just makes for a very peaceful existence. Perhaps a little dull, but he's just so well adjusted about it. He doesn't even really think about if it's boring or not. He's content. See, this is why I like having an audience, because I'm just really glad, like, you know, you guys, like, just started a very simple conversation about Vanguard's character, and it just kind of went from there, and I like that. I appreciate it when people sort of ignite that spark in my head and get me talking about stuff. And I mean, like I said, you know, somebody might just make a cursory glance and be like, oh, it's a talking head. But I'm like, damn, this talking head really just, like, understand the profundities of the universe. And again, he's one of my favorite characters. Like, Vanguard is just one of my favorite characters, not just in this game, but in the entire Souls series, just for, like, the kind of character he represents, of just being at peace and well-adjusted. He is a headless monk. Oh my god, am I really out of fucking fragrant branches right now? What I also like, though, and I think it's something that, I mean, a lot of teachers appreciate, because I'm in college, is like, he says, it's rare to flap these gums. It's quite a surprise how pleasant it is. I'd forgotten how enjoyable it was. And it's like, this is something that I get from teachers a lot, is that, there's always something else that you can learn, no matter how bright you may be. There's always something else that can be taught, and I love that about Vanguard's character, is that he still learns, The fact that you presented to him a conversation which he might have scoffed at, but then realized just how enjoyable making conversation was. It's a really appreciable character. And the entire, like, Creighton versus Pate thing, too. That whole dynamic of, they're both obviously very, very seedy characters, but neither of them are at all trustworthy, but you've got to pick a side. Or you can just let them kill each other. It's whatever. Creighton and Pate. Yeah, because they're both obviously disgusting criminals. But I mean, who's the bad guy in this scenario? No, Dark Souls 3 does not have such a thing. Oof! Dark Souls 3 is a fine game, it's just not as good as 1 and 2. I still enjoy it. Time for one of my favorite bosses. Some small rats and maybe a big rat, I guess. How many chunks do I have? I think I have enough to upgrade. No, I don't. I need one more. Luckily, like, Chunk City's coming up, so that'll be good. Fucking rats submerged in water. Fuck. Fuck. Dark Souls. We were talking about how Dark Souls 3 is the only game that doesn't have a topless woman with a invertebrate lower half body. Does Bloodborne have one? Bloodborne has Vicar Amelia. We'll give it a pass. I don't think it does have lower half insect woman. Yeah, that's the horse dog lady. God, I should probably use the greatsword for this one. Sweet, killed the small rats. Alright, this boss fight will be easy peasy now. Oh, that reached around my shield. Gave me the good old reach around. Again, what the fuck? Got him in one go. Easy peasy. Yeah, explain that to me, actually. Explain to me why he's your favorite. I'd like to hear that. Yeah, that's what I want to know, is because I'm not... He's like one of my least researched characters. Never really cared too much about him. Huh. Yeah. I guess I can see that, because I do remember talking, you know, I obviously remember, like, his dialogue when speaking with him, and yeah, he does sound... He sounds incredibly, like... I don't know what the word is. He sounds contemptive, but not exactly in, like, a hateful way. Alright. No worries. Just missing one chunk. I'm looking at a few levels, actually. Should go back to Majula. And just like that. Woo! That's nice. That just set off the dopamine in my brain looking at that soul count. Beautiful.
No.
Better drink that in before it goes away. Oh yeah? How's that pose working out for you, dude? Yes. Alright. I feel ya. He was really lining up that shot. I almost feel bad for taking that away from him. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, the Falconer shield is in Dark Souls 3. I totally forgot. Of all the shields, I wonder why theirs. Hey, knock that shit off. So, in NG +2 and beyond, Duke's Dear Freja will actually climb out of her pit and fight you from here. She'll go away if you cross over to that door, but still, pretty crazy. That's one of my favorite things about this game, is the way it does something that Dark Souls 1 and 3 that they don't do, which is that it significantly alters the way the game plays past New Game 1. That's one of the most fascinating things about this game, is the way the game changes past New Game 1. Welcome back. Duke's Dear Freja, the miscellaneous red phantoms that show up, different enemy placements in NG plus and plus plus, stuff like that. Also, welcome back, Sloan. You missed it, but I had 7777 souls at one point, and then I felt very lucky. I remember Yahtzee of Zero Punctuation fame once said something really funny while he was explaining the lore of Dark Souls 2 at one point, where he said about the Duke, and then he let the spiders take over, and he was very pleased with himself. And that is pretty much the Duke's lore is, and then he let the spiders take over, and then he was pleased. Smacking me with his old man stick. Yeah, something along those lines. Something along the lines of, and then he was crazy because of Seath's soul. I don't know. He might have also just been a fucking weirdo. Yeah, he's hollow past her. Because you get it from defeating Freya in NG Plus and beyond. Gotta get an Estus Flask shard. Fuck. Alright, gotta try again. Fuck, I didn't open the door. Well, this is unfortunate. Fuck! I really, really hate those guys, and the fact that they're even in that area is just... Ugh. That is a change in the Scholar Edition that I am not happy about. The fact that those dudes just keep fucking sniping you from there. Forever. What the fuck? Oh, fuck off. Jesus Christ. I've always called a bowman, and he uses crossbows instead of like an actual bow. Crap, it slipped my mind. Oh yeah, there it is. I was wondering what I was looking for. When you forget. It's a good feeling doing that. That's a good feeling right there. That's freaky, by the way. I kind of just want to mention that. The fact that spiders and like the evil spiders in this game can like just mind control people is fucking scary. Mind control spiders is just a very frightening phrase in general. That's a chunk. What do I got for stones? I got 7 of them now. Oh wow, I was struggling for 3 like a minute ago. Nice. Hello. Alright, I guess I'll start. That felt really good. Range. This feels so good. Ooh, that's a chunk. Alright, Alright, I still have plenty of aromatic ooze, and by plenty I mean 2. Good enough. Alright, I'm not getting the kind of range I'm looking for here. Okay. New plan. Mace. Fuck. God damn it. I just love bosses that summon trash mobs. I feel like Miyazaki was looking for boss ideas when he was making Bloodborne. He's like, hey, Dark Souls 2 dev team, what do you got? We got a spider that summons other spiders. Perfect. And the spiders do stupid amounts of damage. Perfect. I'll put that in Bloodborne. I'll admit, it's just as terrible here as it is in Dark Souls, or as it is in Bloodborne. This is why you should have a small weapon and a big weapon. If I kept trying to use the greatsword, we would have been here all day. beat this man to death with a big stick. I want to listen to his voice for a little bit. It's fun.
And this, you have already joined the crestfallen. Young Harlow, there are but two paths. Inherit the order of this world, or destroy it. Only a true monarch can make such a choice. Very few indeed have come even this far. And yet your journey is far from over. Half-grown Hollow, have you what it takes? Truly. Young Hollow, seek after Vendrick. He who almost became a true monarch. The Vendrick is certain to guide your way.
This game plays with such interesting themes.
May we meet again?
Honestly, Aldia himself is one of the reasons I say Scholar Edition is just such a huge improvement over the base game. Because he adds an extra layer of complexity to the game's story. The entirety of his quest line adds so much additional complexity to the game's story. Alright, well, she's not going to sell me anything interesting. But yeah! I need one more chunk for that. Because it's popular to hate Dark Souls 2, that's why people hate Dark Souls 2. And to be fair, Dark Souls 2 did make some very questionable decisions. Yeah, and the base game ruined the experience for a lot of people, because the base game was just kind of eh. It was really after the addition of the Aldia expansion that the game really came into great territory. Like, specifically the Aldia expansion is what made the game so good.
Is that a shop here to see? However,
yeah, I mean, it is really just an unfair standard in general to compare. Dark Souls 1 was lightning in a bottle, really. And one that From Software somehow managed to capture twice with Bloodborne. But for the most part, it's really hard to reach that kind of standard for a game. And yeah, Dark Souls 2 just had some inherent design flaws that it will never overcome, that make it slightly less cohesive, but that doesn't make it less good. People just were expecting more of Dark Souls 1, which is not what the B team delivered. That's really the crux of the issue of why people hate Dark Souls 2, is that it wasn't what people were expecting. There was a similar issue when Metal Gear Solid 2 came out. People were expecting more of Snake, more Shadow Moses kind of stuff, but what they got was a lot more cerebral, a lot more intense. It was just very different, and it's not what people wanted, because people wanted more Snake, but what they got was Jack. Yeah, I mean, Dark Souls... Oh. Yeah. Also, a lot of its amazing qualities only... Yeah. I completely agree. It really does, like, help flesh out the story of... That's Aldia's keep. Okay, yeah. It really just helps, like, contextualize the cycle of light and dark. And Aldia's character and story are so unique and just add so much to the game comprehensively. This game just, it takes a lot of risks, and I really appreciate it for that. And I think it took some risks in some ways that didn't pay off, but I think in the case of the story, I think it took a lot of risks with the writing and story and characters that paid off really, really well, at least for me. This game really resonates pretty strongly with me, especially with Aldia and Vendrick. Yeah. Well, because people see Koth in Dark Souls 1 as kind of a prick because of what happened in Ulasil and New Londo. And I mean, you'd be forgiven for thinking that, because obviously you'd be forgiven for thinking that Dark is evil because Koth is a fucking prick, but it's more complicated than that, because the boys on the light... Yeah. Haha, funny. But, I mean, the whole thing is like, Dark Souls... If you really contextualize Dark Souls 1, the fucking light boys aren't exactly, like, the nicest school children on the block either. They're also pretty big fucking pricks. I mean, if you really want to put it in context, Gwendolyn basically created a Gestapo order just for people who just for people who disobeyed Gwyn. Fucking the Dark Moons are like actually a secret police, and it's kind of fucked up when you think about it like that. Well, I mean, the Abyss isn't even bad, though, because Dark Diver Grandal in this game presents the Abyss as more something... I guess the best way to put it is uncaring, benevolently uncaring. It's just something that encroaches on all things. It just happens. It is a natural way of things. It's not... The Abyss is not bad, it is just a natural way things happen. The dark just takes everything. The Abyss will eventually consume everything, and that's not exactly a bad thing. Because it's a force of nature. That's the thing, is both light and dark in Dark Souls are forces of nature. They were synthetically created by Gwyn in order to serve his own purpose, but, I mean, they are forces of nature nonetheless.
This can... to...
Not everything. I mean, the Abyss consumes people. Well, I mean, the reason Ulasil and New Londo fell under was because humanity was like a drug to them. It brought out their worst qualities because they kept thirsting for more until it turned them. I mean, Koth makes special mention that the kings of New Londo failed him, in those exact words. They failed him because they were weak and saw not the truth. Yeah, humanity, and they make special mention of that, I think, in the description of humanity in Dark Souls 1. In Dark Souls 1, they kind of talk about how, like... Oh, for a second I thought the door wasn't going to open. But yeah, it's like humans assume a fleeting form. Aldea says himself, or was it Aldea? But somebody said that men assume a fleeting form when exposed to the light, which is the flesh. In the Dark Souls universe, men made flesh are transient forms that are not truly natural. Gwyn made them be because he exposed the world to the soul of light. Yeah, it's... I mean, well, that's the thing, is a lot of Dark Souls operates on more Eastern principles, and it's going to because Miyazaki is Eastern. Well, and that's the thing, is you gotta kind of let the character, like, you gotta let your own judgment of the characters speak for themselves. Is like, yeah, there are good characters and evil characters in certain cases. We're gonna do, I guess we're doing this again. There we go, okay. There is some form of good and evil, but it's not in the sense of light and dark. Yes, Koth is a prick, but it's not because he represents the dark. It's really what it comes down to, is that in the beginning of the universe, the world was in a incomplete balance because the world was gray. Light and dark did not exist because they were one. And then Gwyn committed the first sin by basically turning light into oil and water and creating dark and light through the use of his soul of fire. By introducing his soul of fire to the world, he created imbalance. And so there's this constant power paradigm now between light and dark because of Gwyn's first sin. No, yeah, that's what I'm saying, is his first sin wasn't finding the flame. His first sin was utilizing the flame. By abusing it to enslave men and ensure the existence of his reign for a long time. That was his sin. He created a power paradigm that would never know peace because it would be in constant flux. And, like, you know, okay, so, like, the dragons, gray, and, you know, the absence of light or dark, stuff like that represent, and even dark itself, light and dark themselves, both represent forces of nature. All of it is just forces of nature at work. And yeah. Because Gwyn saw fit to tamper with the powers that be. Which I think is really interesting, because even though he deemed himself to be a god, he stared the powers of life and death himself in the face and spat in them, because he wanted to exist, because he wanted the ability to rule long past his age's lifetime. Perfect, now we're at maximum damage. Now that's a lot of damage. It really sort of is what it's about. No need. I'm actually packing it in as well. So, I'll catch everyone later. Thanks, both of you guys, for tuning in. You guys who came to the stream, and thanks to everyone else on YouTube for watching the VOD. Have an excellent day. Goodbye.